Now, let's look at an inside corner on a wall that has a horizontal quick-seam RPF strip base tie-in. The roof membrane extends up the two walls. When the membrane is adhered to the walls, the membrane forms a 3-inch quick-seam splice at the vertical angle change. A quick-seam corner is installed to form a pig ear to seal the small hole at the corner. The top of the pig ear fold is then covered with quick-seam flashing. Let's look at the detailed procedure for installing this type of inside corner.
The easiest and most cost-effective way to install inside corners is to install them while the walls are being flashed. So, first install the quick-seam RPF strips along the two walls. At the corner, hold the strips back 6 inches and fasten them 1 inch from the end. Position the membrane at the corner so that there is enough membrane to extend up both walls to the desired height. Then, fold the membrane back so that both strips are showing. Notice that the fold on top will determine which wall you will flash first. Identify the areas to which you will apply quick prime and the areas to which you will apply bonding adhesive as follows. You will apply quick prime to the area of the membrane that will mate to the RPF strip. You will apply bonding adhesive to the wall flashing, the surface of the wall, and to the strip itself. Apply the quick prime. Then apply the bonding adhesive, being careful not to contaminate the quick prime areas. When the quick prime and bonding adhesive have flashed off, remove the release paper from the RPF strip. Work the flashing into the horizontal angle change. It is easiest to work the membrane from the adhesive surface. Tuck the membrane into the angle change and continue up the wall. Then, roll the membrane directly over the RPF strip with a silicone roller in both directions. And broom the wall flashing. In this next step, you will cut the membrane so that after flashing the second wall, you can make a vertical splice in the corner. First, measure the distance from the fold to the corner. Then, measure and mark the same distance from the fold back onto the membrane. Then, measure 4 inches from the base of the wall and mark the membrane for the vertical seam overlap. Cut straight across the lower marks. Then straight down to the angle change. Next, cut straight up the vertical marks from the angle change to the top of the wall. Now, fold the lower 4-inch flap under the membrane on the deck. Apply a pad length of quick prime along the edge of the membrane next to the quick seam RPF strip. Then apply bonding adhesive to all other exposed surfaces, being careful not to contaminate the quick prime area. When the quick prime and bonding adhesive have flashed off, remove the release paper. Work the membrane into the vertical angle change. Then work the membrane into the horizontal angle change. Continue working the membrane up the wall. Then roll the membrane directly over the RPF strip with a silicone roller in both directions and broom the wall flashing. Trim the loose membrane to 4 inches, making an angled cut at the base. Apply a 4-inch width of quick prime up the wall opposite the membrane flap and to the back of the flap. Allow the quick prime to flash off and install 3-inch quick seam tape on the opposite wall the length of the vertical angle change. Set the tape by rolling with a 1 1/2 inch silicone roller. Cut across the membrane flap at the angle change on the top of the wall. Without removing the release paper, fold the flap over the quick seam tape. Prior to removing the release paper, roll the vertical angle change with a 1 1/2 inch silicone roller. If necessary, trim the edge of the membrane to expose 1/2 inch of release paper. Remove the release paper and set the flap into the quick seam tape. Roll the completed seam in both directions with a 1 1/2 inch silicone roller. The pinhole in the corner can be covered with the new quick seam corner. Apply quick prime 6 inches out from the pinhole in all directions. Fold the quick seam corner back onto itself along the perforation in the release paper. And remove the paper from the smaller half of the corner. Then, fold the corner in half again. Position the quick seam corner on the deck. Tuck it into the angle change and continue up the wall. Then remove the release paper and tuck the quick seam corner into the 2 remaining angle changes. Starting at the base, press the quick seam corner onto the wall to form the pig ear fold. Work from the base of the fold to remove any trapped air. Roll the area around the pig ear fold with a 1 1/2 inch silicone roller to firmly adhere the corner. To cover the pig ear fold, first cut a 16-inch strip of quick seam flashing. Then apply quick prime to both wall surfaces and to both sides of the pig ear fold. Allow the quick prime to flash off and mate the fold onto one of the wall surfaces. Fold the quick seam flashing in half and position it in the corner so that the width of the flashing is centered over the top edge of the quick seam corner, and apply the flashing onto both walls. Roll the entire area with a 1 1/2 inch silicone roller. To complete the inside corner detail, apply seam edge treatment around the quick seam corner and flashing, to the edge of the pig ear fold, and to the entire vertical seam.